Stop scrolling, because what you're about to hear is something most gun channels will never say about Smith and Wesson. Smith and Wesson is not just America's oldest gun manufacturer, not just the brand your grandfather carried, not just the company that makes a decent M&P for duty use. In 2026, Smith and Wesson is quietly building some of the most technically advanced handguns on the market. Most people know 3 of their guns. There are 10 in this ranking. Some will shock you. One is going to completely change what you think this brand is capable of. Let's find out which one. How we are ranking these. Every Smith and Wesson gets judged on 4 things. Real-world reliability, because 170 years of production means reliability is the foundation everything rests on. Trigger quality, because Smith has dramatically improved their factory triggers and the difference matters. Value for money across every price tier. And purpose, because we are ranking each gun on how well it delivers on its specific job. Same standards, every gun. Let's rank. Number 10, Smith and Wesson SD9 VE. The SD9 VE is the gun Smith does not advertise, does not feature at trade shows, and does not put on Instagram. It is also one of the best value full-size duty pistols in America. 16+1 capacity, width of 1.29 inches, weight unloaded of 22.7 ounces. The trigger breaks at around 6.5 pounds with a self-defense trigger system that is heavier than the M&P, but consistent and predictable across thousands of rounds. Basic 3-dot sights, aggressive grip texture. Smith built the SD9 VE to compete at the absolute bottom of the reliable full-size pistol market, and it succeeded completely. Police agencies and budget-constrained municipalities carry it as issued duty weapons. Why number 10? The trigger is heavier than every other gun on this list. The sights are basic, the ergonomics are dated, but at around $300 for a 16-round full-size Smith & Wesson, the value proposition is impossible to argue with. Price approximately $309. Capacity 16+1. Best for budget buyers who need a reliable full-size 9mm without spending premium money. Number 9. Smith & Wesson CSX. The Smith & Wesson CSX is the gun that proves Smith still knows how to surprise the market when they decide to. 12+1 flush capacity, width of 0.95 inches, weight unloaded of 19.7 ounces, aluminum alloy frame. The CSX is Smith's first micro-compact metal frame carry pistol, and the engineering choices are genuinely interesting. The single-action only trigger breaks at around 4.75 pounds, with a crisp break that is significantly better than anything Smith ships on their polymer striker-fired micro-compacts. The aluminum frame keeps weight down while providing more rigidity than polymer. Manual thumb safety for secure carry. The CSX is the carry gun Smith built for the shooter who wants a 1911-style single-action trigger feel in a package small enough for all-day concealed carry. Nothing in the Smith & Wesson lineup competes with it in that specific combination. Why number 9? The manual safety requires consistent training. The capacity falls short of micro-compact competitors offering 13 or more rounds in comparable dimensions. Price approximately $599. Capacity 12+1. Best for shooters who want a single action trigger feel in a metal frame micro-compact carry pistol. Number 8. Smith & Wesson Model 686 Plus. The Model 686 Plus is the revolver that law enforcement carried for a generation, and competition shooters still win matches with today. 7+1 capacity and .357 Magnum with 38 special compatibility. Width of 1.45 inches. Weight unloaded of 37.6 ounces. Stainless steel construction throughout. The double-action trigger pull is around 10 pounds with a smooth, consistent sweep. Single-action breaks at around 4 pounds with a clean, defined break. The 686 Plus earns the extra round in its name. Most .357 revolvers hold 6. This one holds 7. Stainless steel construction is genuinely corrosion-resistant. The adjustable rear sight delivers the finest out-of-the-box sight picture on any production Smith & Wesson. Why number 8? At 37.6 ounces, the 686 Plus is a duty and competition gun, not a carry gun. The double-action trigger requires training investment that striker-fired shooters will need to develop. Price approximately $849. Capacity 7+0. Best for shooters who want the finest production. .357 Magnum revolver Smith & Wesson makes. Number 7. Smith & Wesson M&P 9M 2.0 Compact. The M&P 9M 2.0 Compact is the carry-sized version of the most widely issued American duty pistol platform. 15+1 capacity, width of 1.27 inches, barrel length of 4 inches, Weight unloaded of 24 ounces. The M2.0 flat face trigger breaks at around 5 pounds with a tactile reset dramatically better than the original M and P trigger. Aggressive grip texture with interchangeable palm swells. Optics ready on performance center variants. The M2.0 compact sits in the carry market sweet spot, smaller than a full-size duty pistol, larger than a micro-compact with full-size capacity. Officers who carry a full-size M and P on duty carry the compact off-duty because the manual of arms transfers directly. Why number 7? The standard M2.0 compact is not optics ready out of the box on all variants. The factory sights are functional but basic. Price approximately $549. Capacity 15+1. Best for M and P issued officers and shooters who want proven American duty pistol reliability in a carry compact. Number 6. Smith and Wesson M and P9 Shield EZ. The Shield EZ is the most misunderstood pistol in the Smith and Wesson lineup, and the misunderstanding is costing real people their defensive capability. 8+1 capacity, width of 1.3 inches, weight unloaded of 23.2 ounces. The light rack system reduces slide spring tension by roughly 50% compared to standard pistols. The grip safety ensures the gun cannot fire without a full deliberate firing grip. The Shield EZ is not a beginner gun. It is an engineering solution to a problem the firearms industry has refused to acknowledge. Millions of Americans who could and should carry cannot reliably rack standard slides due to arthritis, injury, or hand size. Smith built the Shield EZ for them, not as a compromise. As the correct answer. Why number 6? 8-round capacity is below modern carry standards. The grip safety requires deliberate technique that some shooters find limiting under stress. Price approximately $499. Capacity 8+1. Best for any shooter who needs maximum slide operability without sacrificing genuine defensive capability. Number 5. Smith and Wesson M and P9M 2.0 full size. The M and P9 M2.0 full size is the duty pistol that changed how American law enforcement thought about what a service weapon should feel like. 17+1 capacity, width of 1.27 inches, barrel length of 4.25 inches, weight unloaded of 24.7 ounces. The M2.0 trigger is the defining upgrade over the original M and P. The flat face contact point and reduced over travel deliver a trigger experience that competes with guns in higher price tiers. Interchangeable palm swells in 4 sizes accommodate virtually every hand size. Over 200 law enforcement agencies adopted the M&P 9M 2.0 as their issued duty weapon. Documented round counts of 100,000 plus without critical parts failures put the M2.0 in a category shared by only a handful of competitors. Why number 5? The standard M2.0 full size requires the Performance Center variant for optics-ready capability. The factory sights are serviceable but not premium. Price approximately $599. Capacity 17+1. Best for duty use, home defense, and any shooter who wants a platform trusted by over 200 law enforcement agencies. Number 4. Smith and Wesson Model 442. The Smith and Wesson Model 442 is the carry gun that refuses to retire, and every time someone tries to replace it with something more modern, they eventually come back. 5 rounds of 38 special, weight unloaded of 14.9 ounces, width of 1.31 inches, internal hammer, no external controls, no magazine to sit on, no slide to rack, no manual safety. Pull the trigger and it fires. Every time. The 442 is an alloy-framed J-frame, lighter than steel-framed competitors while maintaining the same operational simplicity. Plainclothes detectives, off-duty officers, and millions of ordinary Americans have carried the 442 for decades because it solves the carry problem with an elegance that modern micro-compacts have not displaced. No safety drills, no slide manipulation practice. Put it in a pocket holster and carry it. That is the entire manual of arms. Why number 4? 5 rounds is the honest limitation. The double-action trigger at around 12 pounds requires dedicated range time to shoot accurately at speed. Price approximately $469. Capacity 5+0. Best for any carrier who wants the simplest, most reliable, most failure-resistant carry pistol ever produced. Number 3. Smith and Wesson M&P 9 Shield Plus. The Shield Plus is the gun that saved the Shield line and in doing so became one of the most carried pistols in America. 10+1 flush capacity, 13+1 extended, width of 1.1 inches, weight unloaded of 20 ounces. The performance duty trigger on current production models breaks at around 4.9 pounds with a flat face, and a reset that is the best Smith has ever shipped on a production carry pistol. Optics ready on the Performance Center variant. Steel sights front and rear from the factory. The Shield Plus is everywhere. Cops carry it off-duty, trainers carry it on the range, new permit holders buy it first. Smith's ecosystem depth, shield holster support second, only to Glock and volume, and genuine trigger improvement make it the most complete carry package Smith offers at this price point. Why number 3? The Shield Plus has been surpassed in trigger quality by some newer competitors. The platform, while excellent, is not breaking new ground in 2026. Price approximately $499. Capacity 10+1 flush, 13+1 extended. Best for any carry buyer who wants the most proven, most supported mid-tier carry pistol on the American market. Number 2. Smith and Wesson Performance Center M and P9 M2.0. The Performance Center M and P9 M2.0 is what happens when Smith and Wesson's custom shop engineers are told to build the M and P without any compromises. 15+1 capacity, ported barrel and slide to reduce muzzle rise. Competition-grade trigger tuned at the Performance Center to break at around 4.5 pounds with reduced pre-travel and a lighter, cleaner reset than standard production. High-vis fiber optic front sight with adjustable rear. Optics ready slide, match-grade barrel. Everything experienced shooters upgrade on the standard M2.0 ships done at the factory here. Trigger tuned, fiber optic sights installed, match-grade barrel fitted. For shooters who know exactly what they want and do not want to build it themselves. Why number 2? The ported barrel is not ideal for carry use in extreme low light conditions. Pricing is premium compared to the standard ATS M2.0. Price approximately $849. Capacity 15+1. Best for competition shooters and serious duty users who want factory Performance Center quality without a custom shop wait time. Number 1. Smith and Wesson M and P9 M2.0 Metal. The M and P9 M2.0 Metal is the gun Smith and Wesson built when they decided to answer every serious criticism the M and P platform had ever received in a single product. 15+1 capacity, aluminum alloy frame with stainless steel slide, width of 1.3 inches, barrel length of 4 inches, weight unloaded of 30.7 ounces. The M2.0 metal trigger benefits from the stiffer alloy frame in the same way steel frame competition pistols produce better trigger consistency than their polymer counterparts. The break is at around 4.5 pounds with a tactile, consistent reset that represents the finest trigger Smith & Wesson has ever shipped on a production M and P. The metal frame changes the shooting experience fundamentally. The alloy absorbs recoil more effectively than the polymer M2.0, which produces flatter shooting and faster split times for the same shooter on the same day. Competitive shooters who have trained extensively on the polymer M2.0 and switched to the metal consistently describe the experience as feeling like the platform finally grew up. Optics ready with Performance Center slide cuts, aggressive grip texture, interchangeable backstrap system, night sight variants available from the factory. The M and P9 M2.0 Metal is number 1 because it is the first time the M and P platform, which has been America's most trusted duty pistol for nearly 2 decades, achieved its full potential. Every version before Metal was excellent. Metal is what the M and P always should have been. Price approximately $749. Capacity 15+1. Best for shooters who want the most technically advanced, most completely realized version of America's most trusted duty pistol. That is the list. 10 Smith & Wesson handguns that span over 170 years of American firearms history. From a 5-shot revolver that weighs less than a smartphone to a metal frame duty pistol that represents the peak of what this company knows how to build. Here's the thing about Smith & Wesson that most channels miss. This is not a brand riding on nostalgia. This is not a company resting on a legacy. This is an American manufacturer that has been building firearms through every war, every panic, every market shift, and every industry revolution for over a century and a half, and they are still standing at the front of the line. The gun in your safe with the Smith & Wesson logo is not just a tool. It is the product of 170 years of American engineering, American testing, and American commitment to building something that works when nothing else will. Drop a comment and tell us which Smith & Wesson you carry, which one is on your wish list, or which ranking you think we got completely wrong. Agree or disagree, we want to hear it. Subscribe if this channel gives you something the rest of YouTube will not. Hit the like button if this ranking earned it. And remember this, the right gun is not the most expensive gun, not the most popular gun, and not the gun with the most YouTube reviews. The right gun is the one you carry every single day without excuses. Go find yours.